ASM, and Anna.
Hey,
Welcome. Hi, Anna. Thanks for being here.
of
We
course,
have
my love.
quite the show today, and I hope everyone likes it. Um, Let me just do a couple of housekeeping items here. The live show discussion topics include anything you feel is newsworthy about anti-racism, bigotry, inequality, and corruption in America, and we all know that's kind of everything. The show is meant to be an opportunity for viewers to speak their mind and to serve as an educational tool in cultural competency with a focus on learning the truth about systemic racism. And we do a lot of cathartic work here, and so
I love that $20 word,
yeah,
cathartic.
cathartic.
Love it.
And what that will mean is if you are new to this subject matter, um, you're going to hear people talking very authentically and not trying to be careful with their words. It does not mean that they hate white people. What it means is that they're really, really frustrated. And so you're going to get an authentic show, and it's really important to understand that. Venting, we all know what venting is. So let's keep going. I wanted to thank everybody who sends me um, tons of breaking news, which I cannot keep up with. And if you want to say hi, please do so right there. I just put it right up there. I also host.
Please come in and say hello. I've missed y'all.
Yes, say hello. If you're here, we want to know what you think. Um, and I also host a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, a Patreon, Vimeo, Instagram, Twitter. I can't even know what I host. If you would like to support my quest to educate white folks in systemic racism and our culture of white supremacy, please join my communities. Come to learn, share my videos, tell me what you think. And if you want to call in later on in the show, this is the number. Boop. And
Yay, the
there it is.
number.
You cheerleading over there.
Of
Um,
course.
Tonight's topics, I'm going to go over. Then we have a little bit going on here today. Tonight's topics that we have come up with. Of course, you can talk about anything you want. Excuse me. The first one is dear white folks, do's and don'ts for learning about racism. Do's and don'ts if you're new. And it's going to be very, very basic, but that's got to start somewhere, right? And the second topic we have is prosperity preaching in Black communities. And the third one we came up with is we want to talk a little bit about the two young Black teenagers who were charged with a hate crime. And we want to, we keep it real here. Oh, yes, we do. And we do. And so in under the guise of keeping it real, Anastasia just showed me she's been holding out on me, not giving me the
I
best.
have not. Don't do that.
I'm
Don't
just going
lie
to
to the
publicly
people.
make it known. Okay. So guys, put some pressure on this young lady. Okay. Because she did. Oh boy, she gets to say everything. Lucky you. I don't even know if that's like a good thing, but she made a video. Anyway, you tell them.
Okay, so the first thing is hello, my beloveds. Whoever is out there with us right now watching, I love you, I love you, I love you. We do this out of love and for our family and for our children. And I always tell people I don't lie to my children. I tell them the truth. What's up, Willow?
Hey,
I
Willow.
tell them the truth that's age appropriate. But I'm
Yeah.
never gonna lie to my children about anything. But
Run.
I got two things we'll talk about first. First of all, giving a shout out to Jordan Peele. I went and watched Nope. And I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go see that movie. It will mind blow you. He Out of his three movies, like I didn't like the Twilight Zone thing. I liked the episode with the cop and stuff like that. But it was maybe I'm not smart enough. It could
Oh,
be that
stop.
I didn't see the vision, huh?
What's the movie? I said, oh, stop. You are. You're smart enough.
So
What's the
Jordan
movie?
Peele did the Twilight Zone. He did a revamp of the Twilight Zone.
Oh,
You know the Twilight Zone was Rod Sterling.
I just put a video up. Very,
Right.
very interesting
About
video.
Rod Sterling, and he was woke when, not exactly. He was
That-
woke.
that word meant that like the rooster crowed and you got up, basically. That's
right.
he was
And
way ahead of his time. Yeah, you got to see
way
that.
ahead of his time.
Yeah,
And
in a most lovely way too.
right, exactly. He did not. So I'm giving Rod Sterling his flowers. I know in certain other aspects he was a horrible person, from what I understand.
Oh, really? Yeah,
But
I didn't hear that part.
yeah, in this aspect, so I went to see Nope. I took my daughters to go, and I'm gonna tell. It's an R-rated movie, but what I'm saying is there's not a lot of cussing and stuff like that. But as we know, they watch TikTok, so give me a break.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me a break. But the movie was cinematically beautiful movie. The colors, the black history in it, and literally the nuances, the AAVE. And the reason why he named it Nope is because he knows a lot of black people watch scary movies and like you hear and all of us is gonna be like, nope, not going down there, or I'm not getting in that water, I'm good, or certain things that we're not gonna do. What's going on, Talonda?
So, Anastasia, so the AAVE, you're talking about African American Vernacular English for
Right.
those who are new, just learning this. That's
Sorry.
he's talking about people who it's a form of English, just like any other form, and
Right. It's just a dialect.
it's just a dialect like anything else.
Dialect. But it's the thing about it is he knows black people. And he knows there's certain things that we're just not gonna do. I am not if like you're in my house, angry soccer mom, and I call for you once, I'm not going upstairs to look for you. I'm not. Because clearly there's either something going on, you're asleep, or you didn't hear me. So, or if something's in the basement, I'm not going down there to look for you. I'm gonna be like, hey, angry soccer mom. Oh, okay, whatever. And if a ghost tells me to get out the house, like in Amityville Horror, we're leaving. We're not staying in that house. And he captured that about black people that every day for us is a horror movie. Every day for us, we may not make it. And I tell people as an apex predator, you have to manifest danger. We don't have to manifest danger. We could walk outside our house and just be standing in front of our house, and a Karen or a Chad will walk up to us and ask us, why are we in this neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
Or we could be doing regular things like babysitting,
Mm-hmm.
being in our own house and get
Existing
murdered.
while black, basically.
Right,
Existing
existing while black.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
We talk about that a lot.
Right.
Okay, so you are definitely saying it's a good movie, and
yes, Nope is a very good, but again, you have to look at it for what it is. It's just it's different. He took a turn. Is great. So also
you tell us about
that's my daughter
yesterday
in the middle of the show. So
no worries.
Yeah. So I also we took them to the National Gallery Art Museum in Washington, D.C. And while I was there, I seen the parade of idiots and fools. They had crucifixes, like a life-size crucifix in one of their trusts.
It's just car after car, right? Just like
right,
car. I'm gonna put the video up afterwards, after the show.
Right, car after car with U.S. flags and stuff like that. And it's so weird nowadays. The U.S. flag is starting to be like the Confederate flag because racists love to hide themselves, and they're cowards. They're cowards because I don't know who's out there that's old enough to know about KRS-One, and KRS-One said that KKK Klan robes, people had to sew things on them. People had to take care of those things. Where are those robes at? And then they talk about, where are the Black Panther jackets? He said there's blood on those jackets. There's bullet holes in their jackets. And he said they wore those robes because when they took them all, they were our doctors
Absolutely.
and our lawyers
Teachers,
and our
lawyers,
judges
policemen.
and our teachers and stuff like that, because they want to be racist but hide. I feel like if you're gonna be somewhere, be 10 toes up about what you're doing.
Yeah. Well,
Be
these
10
guys at
toes
this
up.
thing yesterday were definitely. It looked like they were pretty damn proud. You said they were from the 1776 group
Restoration, whatever.
that wanted to go back in time.
This is the thing with these dummies don't understand is that if they were back in 1776, more than likely they would have thought of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Hamilton, and all of those people as traitors. But the second part about it, they probably would have died of scurvy
Can
or
I
smallpox
say
or
what
plague.
I said to I said to Anastasia? They think that they were going to be like these, wealthy elitist people. Hello, they were probably going to be eating rats in the street with no antibiotics, starving to death, scraping together. I mean, these people are in some sort of sick fantasy. They're uneducated.
No,
It's not good. They were not going to be,
no.
these elitists.
The thing about it is, this is the thing. And being a dummy is colorblind, because you seen just how the black man, he got one of the longest sentences for being at the insurrection. What did you think was going to happen?
Right.
Even though you're on their side, so to speak, they can't have a whole bunch of us doing stuff like that, because then we may be able to get something in our mind that when we get upset about certain things, we're going to go do that. So you can't have the masses doing that. And
Right.
again, that's colorblind. Poverty is colorblind.
I just put
So
up a video just on that topic of from a movie. And
yeah,
Garrick says they want to cherry pick their history just as long as they have power over you. Yeah, I mean,
right.
it's a fantasy.
It's a complete fantasy. And that movie that you're talking about Trick Baby, where they were talking about keeping smart black people
Yes,
with,
I am.
yeah, it's just called Trick Baby. I know exactly what you're talking
I
about. The
posted
dinner
that
scene.
with right. My friend
Right.
who sent me that? It wasn't Jordan.
I probably sent that to you because I sent that to you one time.
My friend, yeah, it wasn't you this time, but you always send me good stuff. It was my friend. Oh God, am I losing my mind? Well,
Hey Ray.
don't answer that question. Dwayne, it's my friend Dwayne. But anyway, it's interesting. Check it out on my channel. I was kind of shocked looking at it.
I mean, the thing about it is they was right outside a museum. So they could have went in and got some culture. They could have went in. What I'm saying is,
they don't want to learn.
You're in the middle of Nope is in the theaters, y'all. You can't stream it. Nope is in the movie.
It's in the theaters still. It's not out.
It's in the theaters. But the thing about it is, you are surrounded by culture. They literally was right next to an art museum, and they were right next to a sculpture garden that had a Monet, mosaic. Like you literally could, you know what I'm saying?
They were there to be hateful and
Yeah,
disgusting.
they were there to be hateful and dumb.
Sheila, that they would have been as broken and sick as they are now.
Yes. Yeah, they would have their life expectancy probably would have been 25 or 30 years old, because the Constitution was not written for poor people.
No. Nope.
No matter what ethnicity you are. It wasn't meant for poor people.
Right. And until folks like those guys understand that the wealthiest elites have fooled them into working for them for free.
Yeah.
And they get fooled every single time.
Every time. Talanda, the movie came out last Friday. They've been talking about it for a while because Jordan Peele didn't, and nobody gave him any spoilers. But it's in the movie theaters. You need to go see it. Trust me, it's a great movie.
Sweet. All right, you want to get started with our topics today?
Let's do it.
We will. Guys listening, a lot of, I know most of the people right now who are watching, and I really do want to know what you think. And you might have to think back, because this is some maybe basic stuff for you, but I've been spending a lot of time on LinkedIn, and I'm finding that some of the things that the white folks there don't know are the same things that all the white folks don't know. And so I'm spending some time trying to educate people in a very kind of meet you where you're at way, but also explaining why they're getting such poor feedback from some of the Black, Brown, and Indigenous people and African American people on there, trying to explain to them a little bit. So that's what I wanted to start with today. And so obviously, if you are a Black, Brown, Indigenous person, or someone from Ethiopia, or whatever, a non-white person, this. But for folks who are trying to learn, I'll just start talking. It's time for Racism 101, anti-racism 101, or Racism 101.
Yay! We're learning.
Thank you for that. So the first part of our lecture today is going to be about anti-racism 101 for white folks who are just beginning to learn about racism and bigotry. And we all know it's imperative that white people take racial responsibility for educating ourselves. But learning about racism for us can be a little different than learning about some of the more benign topics. First of all, unless you're really lucky, I wasn't, I don't even know anyone who was, and you're a white person, there is no system in place or manner in which we will be educated about systemic racism, except us and us doing it. Okay, the schools are going to offer you whitewashed history, total BS at best. Maybe they'll tell you a little bit during February. But yeah, right. Good luck with that. Our parents, they're not going to teach us. They probably don't even know our real racial history. Or maybe it's just not a priority for them. I won't go there. I'm not going to talk poorly about your parents. So the first section of our show tonight is the Anti-Racism 101. Who do I go for if I have questions about racism in our culture? Now, yes, you can read a book. Yes, you can go online. Yes, you can do this. Yes, you can do that. But there are some certain do's and don'ts that I want white folks to understand. I can speak personally of this. Long ago, I too went online. I barely knew what online was, and did I get blasted? Okay. And anyway, let's not talk about me. So let me explain. Just like certain sports have very strict etiquette for questions about systemic racism, there's, I don't say etiquette, but there are best practices for who, how, when, where, how you ask someone. It really does matter. As a white person, you might think, what? Wouldn't someone be just like absolutely thrilled to answer a question about their ethnicity and being Black and being African American? I mean, what are they? They should be glad that I care enough to ask. Well. Okay, let me just start by saying, okay, that's a very self kind of centered thing to say. It's kind of like making it all about us. Systemic racism is about a system. Okay. It is not about our feelings. So that's the hardest thing for you just have to it's not about our feelings. Okay. It's
not about you. I know you want it to be about you, but it's truly not about you.
Right. And that's the thing you gotta get.
The thing. What I be trying to tell people is that it's not about individuals.
Right.
It's about an aggregate. It's about a group thing. And group things are dangerous.
Yeah. It's about a powerful group that has been here a very, very long time and plans on staying. All right. You, as a white person, might think, I'm not in that group, but by definition, you kind of are. And we don't often think about ourselves as being white people, but
you don't have to.
We don't have to. It's a privilege to not have to. So we'll keep going. I don't want to blab this whole time, but so consider how you would feel if you had to deal with microaggressions, maybe microaggressions all day, overt racism, or maybe you're the only Black, Brown, Indigenous person of mixed heritage in your group or your crowd at work or and you're with a bunch of white people who really have no clue what you endure every single day regarding racism. And then how would you like to leave your work? Oh, finally done. You go out, you're going to go shopping, you're going to go see your family, you're going to work out. You're going to go on social media and have to educate people, feel like be made to feel responsible for educating these people who, for all practical purposes, are the perpetuators of your oppression. Okay, it would really get old fast. It sounds exhausting. It's bottom line. It's inappropriate to just ask anyone who happens to, who you've labeled in that group, in a historically marginalized group, to use their emotional energy to teach us. It's not their responsibility. Okay, it's ours. So I bring this up today because I've ran into so many well-meaning folks who just aren't educated in the subject matter, and they really want to learn. They're really excited, and they want to learn about diversity and inclusion and equity on LinkedIn, and they get blasted by the people, and they're like, "What?" They really are beside themselves. They're educated in their field, but are taken back when they jump into a conversation thinking, yay, this is cool, I'm going to learn something, and what they believe is an innocuous question, and they get their head bitten off. Another reason that's sometimes not a good thing, the questions people ask make it clear that they don't have a single close friend who isn't white. There is a huge difference between having a close friend who is Black, brown, or Indigenous, of mixed heritage, African American, and knowing someone, you happen to know someone who's Black.
Facts.
Okay, so Anastasia, I wanted to ask you, do you, and I'm putting you on the spot here, my friend, do you enjoy answering questions about racism from random white people, online or offline?
So initially, no, it's fine. Initially, when I got into social justice, I felt the contract of they were like babies, because we're taught to infantilize other groups. Oh, they just don't know, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But as I got more mature, because it's a growing and it's a purging
process.
And it's right, it's a process.
Yeah.
But I no, you know what? I'm not gonna even say process. What I'm saying, it's a growing, because your babies, you got babies just like I do. When their teeth first come in, that's not a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? When you're going through puberty and hair is growing out of places where you didn't know hair was supposed to grow out of, things are getting bigger and you never know it's supposed to get bigger,
get the point.
Smaller. Or even when you age, things that was up by your neck are now down by your kneecap. Things that was down by your kneecaps are now up by your neck. And so that's why I said it's different than a process, because it hurts. When you finally wake up to certain things and you look at certain people, you see what they say to you in a different way. And it's like finding out that Santa Claus doesn't exist or the tooth fairy doesn't exist. It makes you lose a little magic. But back to what you were saying.
Yeah, I can see that. That's good. That's
you understand what I'm saying? So back to what you were saying about the education part. Once I started seeing that the same thing was being said to me by different groups, or even groups, there's intra and inter.
Asked of you or said to you? Asked to you or
both? Both.
Okay.
And what it is that they always give you the same thing. 13% of the population commits this amount of crime.
Oh, they go there.
Right, black on black crime. How are y'all gonna be mean to us if we're just trying to find out? I didn't do anything. Why are you blaming for me? So now you're being racist against me because you're generalizing. And once you got to remember, you're gonna get this from Becky in Canada, and you're gonna get it from Chad in Louisiana. So clearly, there's a narrative that all of you know that we haven't been taught.
So let me ask you a quick question. Are you talking about the classic cliche denials of systemic racism that you just get. There's only like about 20 or 25 of them, and they're the same over and over again. And so after, like, you know, having that over and over and over, it's got to be, go on. I just want to make sure we're clarifying.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And then the thing about it, you get tired, and it's like you get angry, and then it's like, you know what? I'm over it. That's how it went for me. And that's why I tell people, you know, I'm not here to educate you. Like somebody said, if you really want to know, you really want to learn, you'll find out on your own. If you care about something, you'll learn about it. You went to high school, you decided, I want to be a doctor. So you found out all the prerequisites for you to go to pre-med. You found out, say you wanted to be a neurologist. You found out all the things that you needed to do to be a neurologist. Why can't you do the same thing? It's just because you don't care, because it doesn't affect you in your day-to-day. Even let's be clear about something. Even if you have a Black spouse, depending on the spouse and how y'all that dynamic is, you have people that are in interracial relationships that are just as clueless.
Right. Proximity to Blackness does not make you anti-racist.
No, exactly.
Unfortunately,
does not make it anti-racist. And it's not enough not simply not to be racist. You have to be a militant anti-racist person, because at the end of the day, white people, Asian people, Latinx, Hispanic people are affected by systematic racism too. And you're also, it's a detriment to you. It's the same thing. Right. It's a detriment.
Either.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's not good for you. The other thing about it is you're losing a lot of talent by doing that. Think about how far the American society could be if we didn't have to make an amendment for women. We didn't have to make an amendment to free a group of people. We didn't have to, or we stopped making amendments that excluded people.
Right. Well, everybody knows in business, the more heterogeneous your pool of workers are, the more money you make. Okay. You want to go with the capitalism on steroids stuff? Let's do it. And that's why everyone's getting DEI directors. And because not that they just want to do the right thing and have diversity, equity, and inclusion. Maybe
performative is what you mean. Performative.
But what they really want to do is they want to make money, and that has been proven. So even if you're not doing it for the right reasons, it's still a great thing to do. And it's, you know, and there's then of course with that there's performative stuff that's just like, let's not get this company sued, and then there's changing hearts, minds, and souls. And so, but that's a whole other thing. So anyway,
this is what I will say about that.
Go ahead, finish up, because I'm gonna.
This is what I will say about that.
I want to cut you off.
I really don't care about changing how you feel about me. But when you do something, yes, there should be compensation. You want to call me the N-word? Run me $10 million. Keep on doing that. I need me some millions of dollars. This whole working stuff, like dude said, this whole working thing is some whole stuff. You know, I'm like $1 away from selling feet pictures on OnlyFans. I'm just joking.
Can I jump in and ask, when you say call me things like that, because you're going to sue them, is that
what I'm saying? Is no. What I'm saying is this.
Can you explain it further?
What I'm saying is this. Laws never change the hearts and minds. So we are focusing on things that will never happen. I'm going to tell you why it will never happen. Our education system is not built like that. Our education system is built to empower white supremacy within all groups, even if they're not a part of being a European American or of a European descent. Okay? Our government is not set up not to center white supremacy. Our laws are not set up, and we're going to talk about that later. Our laws are not set up to protect marginalized people. Our laws are set up to empower the people that are marginalizing those people. So if we continue to live in this fantasy land that this is going to be a utopia, if any movie that you've ever seen and there's a utopia, on the other side of the house is a dystopian society for those people in order to make it a utopian societies for those other people.
Yeah, the bottom line is, and I think this is what I hear you saying pretty clearly, is that
I don't care about changing your, I'm gonna say it clear. I don't care about changing your hearts and minds. All I'm saying is when you do something that's out of line, it should be punished. Period. You should be ostracized. You should be shamed, because shame works. Trust me.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
And my original question to you was, do you answer questions when random white people ask you about things about racism now?
Not anymore. I used to, but it's not
working to them anymore. What do you say to them?
To say to them now? Google it, Bing it, ask Jeeves. Get those encyclopedias that your mom paid like $700 for and look it up. You'll study what you care about.
Are you nice about it, or are you?
I'm not nice about it. Why should I be nice about it? Were they nice about it when they killed Emmett Till? Were they nice about it when they killed Emmett Till's dad?
So you're done. You're over.
I'm done. I don't even answer them. Let me tell you something. This is what I do on TikTok. That video about the American flags and stuff like that. I literally did that on purpose, so I can block every racist and everybody that's feigning ignorance on why I was laughing. I don't do that anymore, and you should not press upon anybody around you to do that. And there's people that want to do that. I'm just not one of them.
Yeah, and there's no monolith, and I'll go into that again. But I wanted to tell folks who might be new tonight, or a reminder for everybody. And this is very antiquated language, and you know what I'm going to say, don't you, Anastasia?
I do know.
Lyndon B. Johnson once said, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, you won't notice. You won't notice he's picking your pocket. Hell, give him someone to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. We have been made the fools, working for the wealthiest elites for free, thinking maybe someday we'll get rich like them. Well, that's not what this nation's set up for.
No.
This
system of government was not set up for everybody to be rich. It was not set up for everybody to have a home. It was not set up for everybody, because at the end of the day, you have one section of people that had a head start over everyone else and still do.
We're supposed to be working and striving towards equity, building a more perfect union, but the fact
while they had enslaved people, you can know why you said that while you had people enslaved.
Yeah.
Anything that you say after that is a lie to me.
Yeah, and I want to try to bring us back to the topic. We're kind of focusing on right now, and that is, so what do, I will answer this rhetorical question, what do white folks do who they really do want to learn, and they do not have, like 3 out of 4 white folks in America don't have a single close friend.
That's by design.
Who doesn't look just like them. And so what are you going to get it from, like television and stereotypes and the news who has to be spectacular, and so what I'm trying to say is, you could read books, sure, you can go online, but you should, this is my take, as a white woman who had this happen many years ago, join a community online that educates in anti-racism. And if you're white, okay, you want the information to be from the Black community, but you do not go to some stranger who happens to be Black and make them use their emotional energy to educate you. Now, some of my Black friends love doing that, but a lot of them are kind of where Anastasia's at right now. Like, seriously, go Google it. I'm not, we are not, they are not obligated to educate us as like, it's like be oppressed all day, then go home and educate the oppressor. That's not right.
Can I just say this?
Absolutely.
Your soccer mom.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking about being oppressed, a lot of people think that being oppressed means the gold standard. Jim Crow, lynchings, that's the gold standard. When we're talking about oppression, it comes in levels.
Absolutely.
It comes in it comes in levels, as in your life expectancy is tied to your zip code.
Mm-hmm.
Your education level is tied to your zip code.
Mm-hmm.
That's things like that. And when people, because words matter, but what it is that a lot of people don't want to say I'm oppressed because you have an iPhone, you have a house, you have these things. But at the end of the day, they had all those things during Black Wall Street.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to jump in. I don't know if I'm going to get this right, but having things doesn't mean you're not oppressed. Okay.
Exactly.
Maybe you bought that house and guess what? Lo and behold, if they really looked into it, you paid, $20,000 more than if you were a white person.
Exactly.
Maybe you didn't get it. It is the ability. This kind of oppression we're talking about is the ability to legally, it's not really legal, but you can, sneak it by. Make it so that Black, brown, Indigenous people and other people of color are not able to accumulate generational wealth at the same pace as a white person would. Okay, that's systemic.
That's
you
systemic.
have your eyes.
That's what I try to tell people.
That kind of like what you're saying a little bit.
Right. That's what I try to tell people is that when you're talking about oppression, you got to look at that your house, you have to de-Black your house
to sell it.
To sell it.
Or you'll get it praised lower.
Right. You have to de-Black your name. You have to give your children names of the
2022. This is not like olden days. This is now.
Right. Your hair is not considered professional because it's not relaxed, and you didn't put poisons on your head.
We have to pass a law to allow your normal natural hair that grows out of your body.
Yes.
To be forced to be accepted. That's
exactly.
insanity. That's insanity.
Your body, but even to your body, the shape of your body. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be, what's the word? It has to be given the okay. But it has to be given an okay by a non-Black person.
Like European standards, is that what you're referring to?
Yeah. What I'm saying is like Kim Kardashian. Everybody loves Kim Kardashian because she looks like a Black woman. She's just not a Black woman. And now she have decided BMI. BMI.
Racist BMI.
Racist BMI. And even the FDA is a racist, systematically racist.
With the milk?
Milk. Black women are not supposed to drink milk.
So all these topics we're talking about are on my channel, like in little videos if you want to like learn and expand on them. We're just kind of like touching upon them.
Right.
But yeah, if you want to learn, that's what my channels are for. And yeah, I love all the comments are fan.
You want to read some of the comments?
Yeah, I can scooch back up.
Do what you got to do.
I will scooch back up and do so. Let me see. Garrick liked the Lyndon B. Johnson quote. Still works today, sadly.
It still works today.
And it's because this is a powerful system.
Right.
And it started way before any of us were on the planet,
Yes.
And there is tons of ammunition in order to uphold it, as you have probably noticed. Sheila says it wasn't set up for people that have to have the mythical American dream. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't.
Garrick says when you break those negative stereotypes, racism really reveals itself, and when you don't fit into their negative imagery box of stereotypes. And I know we've talked about that extensively, Garrick and I have.
And even but even the not even the negative stereotypes. When you don't fit the so-called positive, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
For me, oh, you don't know how to dance? No.
Do you play basketball?
Exactly. You're so tall. You don't play basketball? Like what?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
You know, I play an
Or,
instrument and I love poetry. It's like,
or
no.
I like rock and roll music. I like it just
You
showed
better
up.
not like country music. Right. Yeah, I like country music.
Remember how it just showed up with the I forget what the name of that group is, but they made a response to Jolene. The song Jolene by, oh my God, I just
Mhm.
forgot her name. I know y'all know that. I'm sorry, but she made that song Jolene, and they made a response to it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they had so much racist stuff said at them. Like country music wasn't created by black people. It was created by listen, this is a known fact. Every type of music in this country, excluding square dancing, was made by black people or originated from black music
I
or
think
a black creator.
if I can make like a generalization,
Right.
and correct me if I don't want to misquote or misrepresent you, but I think, and I know I feel this way, that white Americans, we love black stuff. We love African American stuff. We love the culture. We love their hair. We want to touch it. We think it's like ours to touch. We like the clothes. We like the music. We like the dance. We just don't like them. We
No.
just don't want to kind of come to terms with the fact that they are human beings just like us, and that we should absolutely be respecting and helping them to get equity, not being the saviors. Oh hell no. Not being the person with their picture on Facebook and, oh, look at me. No. Black and brown indigenous people are going to save themselves. They do not need the us. But you know what? It's called taking racial responsibility. It's not a hard thing to do. You just have to take it upon yourself to learn. And like Colin Kaepernick showed it really, really well when you have this man who is saying, let's take note of this horrendous systemic racism in police and the justice system. And you know what people said? The white folks, we just want to watch football. We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit about human rights. Just
we don't care about that.
Keep playing. And that was like, that's the epitome of systemic racism. We don't give a shit about you.
Nope.
We like all your stuff though.
Well, you know what I think? You know what I think that goes into? I was at the museum, right? And you see the beautiful white sculptures, and then you look down, and then you be like, I know why racism is a thing. That's probably because of it too. But our black excellence makes them feel incompetent, and they know they can't compete. I am not saying that black people and black supremacy, that's not what I'm saying. But anytime we do something, okay, I'm gonna put it like this. White supremacists has caused our black excellence to be the best of black excellence. Because we were always taught.
And that's unfair. That's unfair. You shouldn't have to be superior to be noticed.
But this is the thing. Yes, I've been to Africa. I went to Cabo Verde. The reason we have to be the best of the best in everything. So when one of us makes it, you are the cream of the crop of everybody. So this is what makes them mad. But this is a result of their own what they're doing. If somebody's saying, okay, you can't be mediocre, you can't be half, you got if they're jumping to Europe, you got to jump to the moon. So what do you think is going to happen? You're going to have a whole bunch of us that jump to the moon. But now you're mad because we're better than you at everything, but you made those rules. Now, the mediocre people that you had that didn't have to compete, guess what? They're still not trying to compete because they know they can't compete.
Well,
Now,
Lyndon B. Johnson quote kind of
right,
speaks to that, and it's human nature, I suppose, because he's right.
right, and yeah, and you've been so in this system
we've been
that
programmed, and
you've been
yeah,
programmed that I don't have to do anything. But then you get mad when we're 3 times as better than you. We're 3 times as smart.
yeah. I don't know about that because I don't like
No,
I
no,
can't
no.
speak to that personally.
No, I'm going to speak for it. What I'm saying to you is most Black people, when they were younger, we were told you need to make sure that you're super clean when you go around them. We are told you got to be twice as better than them to be considered.
Say
So
work doubly as hard to get half as much.
exactly. So at the end of the day, when you do something in your mind right here, you got to make sure. And then what happens is you're pulling the community with you. We're not brought up in an individualistic type of microcosm. If somebody gets out, you got to make sure you do your best because everybody in that community is depending on you.
Because you have to represent your entire
exactly
race. Now that does not work for white folks, but for
exactly
Black African American people, you are suddenly representing your entire race.
right exactly. And if you do something wrong, you're representing everybody. But if you do something right, it's just you. Think about it.
Yep. So great points. And I am going to finish up this section because we need to move on. Because I promised I would do an hour show and not keep everyone here tonight.
We got some good stuff. We're talking about some good stuff.
Absolutely. I'm very, very pleased. So you can read articles, you can Google questions, you can come to people who have dedicated their lives, white folks who have dedicated their lives to trying to educate other white folks. Okay. Now, the continuum for anti-racism for us white folks is really steep and really long. We'll never get there. We'll never know what it feels like to live in a society whose culture is based on white supremacy. But it doesn't mean we don't try. It doesn't mean we just say, well, this is just the way it is. Because see, this is not just the way it is. Okay, that's a cop-out. That's an excuse for the status quo. And we have to do the work ourselves. We cannot expect to be handed. These are the answers. Take this. We must be willing to drop our egos and to set aside our ideas of what the world is like and be willing to learn the truth that maybe we just haven't seen. We haven't had to see. Okay, but we need to see. If you want to grow and develop into the best you can be, the work takes a lifetime. It is so worth it. And I just want to close on this.
Here.
Oh, Marco! Yay! I'm glad you made it. Sweet. I thought of this subject tonight because when I was on LinkedIn reading the diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff, a white woman asked a question, and she got pounced, and it was kind of brutal. So in our quest for understanding as white people, we need to have a slate, when you're first starting, understanding that we cannot do further harm to people who society in the aggregate, white society, have already harmed just on such a just horrendous level. We have to understand we have to do the work, not force people who don't have any obligation to teach us to do the work. So And then that there are always sincere people who really do want to learn, and they need to have some venue to do so, because
Other white people,
other
other
white people,
white people.
yeah, other white people. And it is our responsibility as white people to teach the other white people, not to put it on the people who have been marginalized historically. So that's just the point that I wanted to make. So what happened to this lady is she actually wanted to know a very specific question. And I'm not, and she could, I guess she could have looked it up. Like Anna and I kind of went back and forth. She could have looked it up. I think she was a really, really big beginner, I guess you could say, and really didn't even realize that she was putting emotional pressure and work onto people who do not need that. And so she was blown away when they told her basically to F off. Okay. She was very much like, what did I do? And that's, that's how it goes when I've met hundreds of white people like that. It's a pattern. And so she got this nice little, I'm being sarcastic, shock. And whether that turns her off and she never asks another question again, I don't know. But I actually reached out to her and said, come on to my learner site. I will help you. And I mean that very sincerely. I'll work with people. You want to learn? You're white. You want to learn? Come on down. You have people in your life that are white and you're like, I cannot teach these people. Send them on over. It's what I do.
Right. But can I say this?
Yes.
Advocacy, niceness, and kindness shouldn't be the price for advocacy, for just being human. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm not nice. I'm not I'm not nice to children because I think I'm going to get something from them. I'm nice to children because they're little human beings. And I might be the only person in their life that's one, being nice to them, or number two, that in whatever particular package I'm in has ever been nice to them. You know what I'm saying? So you have to pay attention. It's not what you, just like Maya Angelou said, it's not what you do. I mean, it's not what you do or what you say, is how you made them feel. And so don't, I, you shouldn't expect anything from me. Do it because you're a good person and you want to do it. Don't do it because you think I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. We've been waiting for you.
Right. Okay. I think I get what you're saying. People say thank you to me a lot for doing what I do. And I kind of think, oh, that's so funny to me because I do it for myself. I do it for me because I have to do it. I cannot live with myself watching and doing nothing. I can't stand and watch and condone this shit. It's so obvious, and it's to me, just to me. I'm not, So people are like, oh, thank you. I'm like laughing. I'm selfish. I do it for me. I can't just watch. So I think what you're trying to say is you don't do this to kiss up to people or to like, say, I really care. I really care. You do it because it's the right thing to do. It's called acting human.
Why are you expecting, do you not steal
Did I,
because it's
did I
a
explain that
law
right?
against it, or you not steal because you shouldn't be
It's the
stealing?
right thing to do. Right, right, exactly, exactly. That's awesome point. And
And the thing about that goes back into ego, that I should thank you for treating me like a human being. And yes, Michael Payne, I watch Philip Scott and African Diaspora News all the time. But what I'm saying is we have a lot of people that think that we should kowtow to them. I'm not kowtowing to anybody, because at the end of the day, you are lucky. All we want is to be left alone. You're lucky that all we want is equity. You're very
revenge,
lucky.
not revenge for the
Exactly.
right. I feel that. And
Yeah.
actually, Philip Scott was the first person I ever got an interview with. I was so
Yeah.
nervous. I was like, I've
Yeah.
interviewed on there. I was like shaking in my britches, but that was really exciting for me. I was. Michael Pan, what do you say to white middle class people when they tell you we are not racist? It is the rich white people. No one's ever said that to me in my entire life because I don't know. I don't know the class of the people I'm dealing with most of the time. And I think, yeah, no one's ever said that to me, so I don't have to say anything about it. But yeah, never had that comment. But to be honest with you, all white people, I'm sorry, almost every single white person I have ever met immediately says, I'm not racist. So we have a damn lot of racism for all these people not being racist. People look at racist as a dirty, dirty word. And
it's that one guy. It's that one guy. You didn't know that?
I mean, it's that bad guy over there
that bad guy over
No.
there. Because
No.
this is what in the army, when I was in the army, they used to tell us that there's only one thief. Everybody else is just trying to get their stuff back. I'm serious. It's one guy going around and I don't like you. I don't like you. You make me sick. It's that one guy. Everybody else is trying to say, whoa. No, it doesn't work.
If that were the case, we wouldn't have systemic racism. We wouldn't have the need to teach people. Yeah. So the bottom line is we got to drop our freaking egos and just, I have an actual video that I did that says I am racist. Okay. Now you might be like, oh, what? Just watch the video. I think it'll.
Another thing I was going to say about it is what people don't like is to think that they didn't earn something, but you didn't. What privilege doesn't mean. There's a difference between having privilege and being privileged. And a lot of people don't understand the difference between the two. The fact of the matter is you could scream, angry soccer mom, you could scream, you could probably spit, on a cop. And they'll probably be like, ma'am, calm down, ma'am. Let me even ask.
Let me give you a tissue.
No, but let me even ask, hey, why did you pull me over? And it's from 0 to 100. And we're saying, oh, that could never happen. Oh, we've seen it happen over and over again. And it's like people don't, they know that it's going on, but they don't want to believe it because then it's on you now. Now that I know it's going on,
you have
now
to take
I
responsibility. I said it. Anastasia, last time I got pulled over by a police officer, I can tell you right now exactly what happened. And I was blown away. I said, all right, everybody, put your hands up where they can be seen. I told my kids, don't move an inch. Okay. I will talk.
Yes.
And I think I told you this story.
You have told me the story. I told my Black children the same thing.
And guess what? The police came over. The officer, a white dude, came over, said hello. And I said, hello. He goes, you don't have to be all nervous and with your hands up there. And I said, okay. He goes, no, I know a good guy when I see one. You guys aren't bad guys. And I said, keep your hands exactly where they are to my kids. Cause I was like going, I'm not playing this game. Okay.
Nope.
And he said, no, relax. He goes, I know you're good guys.
Of course.
And so I kind of like slumped my shoulders down, but I didn't move my hands. I'm not going right there. Okay. And he said, oh yeah, no, I know you're good guys. And
and I wonder how he knew you
slow down a little bit. Okay. You're going a little fast. No ticket.
So I just want to answer Michael Pan's comment. So Michael Pan, there's always been a Black agenda. Okay. You need to read Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. What you're talking about, there's always been a Black agenda. What the problem is, just like what happened with Reconstruction and all of these things that's supposed to help marginalized people, it only goes but so far. It's purposely destroyed or purposely made to fail. Okay? Or outright, our society does not want that. So you can bring up Black agendas all day long. You said, how about moving to Africa to get away from white supremacy and racism? Have you been to Africa?
Let me jump in really fast with Michael Pan. And Michael Pan, I know Michael Pan, and his heart is absolutely in the right place. But what I need to explain, and this isn't just like, I'm not downing him in any way, shape, or form, but the creation of a Black agenda needs to be created by Black people. Okay.
Dr. Claude Anderson has had that since the 50s and the 60s.
And so it is inappropriate for anyone else to create a Black agenda for them. That's supremacy over them.
Yes.
You can give ideas and you can help and you can support, but
Right.
we are not the leaders.
Right.
Okay? We are not the leaders. It's absolutely inappropriate. And being the leader, we can help, we can be way up there, but not the leaders.
I agree.
That's part of what it, but a Black agenda, oh my gosh, the people, the reverend that runs the poor people's campaign.
Reverend Barber.
Reverend Barber. They have a sect. Boom, boom, boom.
Right. Even the Black Panthers had attempt. Let me just say this. Let me say this, Angry Soccer Mom.
Yep.
The issue is not a Black agenda. Black people have always had an agenda. It just was incongruent with white supremacy.
Right.
Black people said, I don't want to be a slave. White supremacy said, bet you're going to be a slave.
That's it.
Black people said, hey, I don't want to be in jail. White supremacy said, bet mass incarceration. Black people said, hey, we don't want to be segregated. White supremacy said, Jim Crow. Black people said, cool. You don't want me to be a part of your society. We're going to make our own businesses and communities.
And white supremacy said, then we'll bomb the shit out of you. And
we're going to bomb you.
Yeah.
Black people then said again, you don't want us a part of your society. We're going to rebuild what you burnt down. And Angry Soccer Mom, again, the white supremacy said, I'm going to burn it down again.
Right.
Okay. Then black people said, okay, you want me to live in these apartments? I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to do this. White supremacy said, bet we're going to put a highway through your community so your community doesn't get too big, and so we can poison you with all kinds of pestilence and all kinds of stuff. Black people said, bet I'm going to move to a better neighborhood. White supremacy said,
we're going to redline you
downtown. Go ahead. What you said?
We're going to redline you so you can't.
Redlining, you can't move there. The bank said, we're not going to lend you money to buy a house out there. They also said, if a house looks Black, we're going to lower how much that house is worth. So, Michael, I'm telling you, I get what you're saying, but Black people have always had a plan. Let's not even start at slavery. Let's go back. We had a plan that we said, you know what? We're going to start society. White supremacy said, we don't think so. We're going to make sure everybody knows it's just us. Black people said, hey, we're going to build these cities. We're going to teach y'all how to wash and art and all these things. And white supremacy said, nah, we did all of that. And that's the end of it. I know, Angry Soccer Mom, we're coming to an end and a conclusion. So take us out, babe.
Thank you. I hope that this was a meaningful conversation for everybody. It was more on the kind of early learner side, but the comments were fantastic.
Fantastic.
I thought you were amazing, Anastasia, with your analogies and explanations. And I can't thank everyone enough for being here tonight. We got to just keep talking about it. My goal is to help white folks learn to find their voice and become educated so that they can teach other white people. If you believe in what I'm doing, I'm opening up a few more channels since I keep getting kicked off every single place that I go.
Because you're doing the right thing. Let me tell you something. There's many of people that are doing the right thing, and this is what they do. They trying to silence you, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Like old dude said, get into good trouble. Yep. And another thing, I forget who said it. If there's any more we're gonna fight to hell and back. And if there's any more injustice, we're gonna fight you on the ice. John Lewis, exactly. Exactly. You can't give up because at the end of the day, one, you can't give up because you have a beautiful Black child.
Yeah.
So
I
you don't
can't
have
give
a
up 'cause
choice.
I can't. Even before I had that, my precious daughter, it's like this weird rage inside me. When I saw Compton, California during the LA riots and I was a teacher there, I
Mm.
saw these babies. They could have been my babies. They could have been your babies.
Mm.
No books, shootouts on their play. I mean, I was like, no. So thank you. Thank you, Anastasia. You're so supportive and I really appreciate it. We're all here to learn. At the end of the day, we're all humans. We're on this earth for such a short amount of time. Let's take care of each other. I don't know. I'm Yella Simpleton, but
Love y'all.
thank
Bye.
you.
See you next
Support what
week.
I'm doing. Please subscribe and share my videos and check them out. Some of them are kind of scary. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks,
Bye.
Anastasia.
And
Bye.
no, Michael, I'm never moving to the South again. Ever.
Good night, everybody. Stay safe, okay? And we'll see you hopefully next week. Bye, guys.